Finally solved after 17 years. On August 15, 2003, Ray Ninemeyer was killed during a robbery at the Apple Market in Westwood. Today, a suspect was charged with murder. KCTV5's Betsy Webster explains how authorities finally cracked the case.
Well, what is now a Walmart neighborhood market here at 43rd and Mission Road was then an Apple Market. Ray Ninemeyer was a manager working in the produce section. He heard one of his cashiers screaming out. The man who was intending to rob her then shot and killed him.
That was a day that really impacted that small community.
The Johnson County DA today announced the murder charge that was 17 years coming. It was August 15, 2003 at 6 a.m. when Ray Ninemeyer was murdered. He was just wrapping up his overnight shift and just about to retire. The only description police had then was a short white man wearing a fake beard and stovepipe hat, described for years as an Abe Lincoln disguise. Investigators closed roads to pass out flyers and ask for info. There was a $35,000 reward, but it was no tip that cracked the case. It was a new multi-jurisdictional cold case squad, including both new young detectives who weren't on the job yet when this happened, and retired detectives who left the force years before it happened.
I was a cop for over 30 years, about 35, and I missed it. And when the sheriff called and said, "Would you mind helping us out?" I thought, boy, you know, I'd love to.
They started going through this case piece by piece, word by word, and they started eliminating suspects. And in the process, our investigators turned up some new suspects.
One was this man, Eugene Keltner. He's 40 now, charged with Ninemeyer's murder and already in Lansing prison for a 2004 homicide in KCK. He was arrested that same year, a year after Ninemeyer's murder. Ninemeyer's widow told us by phone they met when she was 16 and married when she was 19. They have 4 kids and 10 grandkids.
Since his passing, there's been 15 great-grandchildren added to that legacy.
His name now sits on a plaque in front of the store where he worked long hours. A man his family described as both frugal and giving, who lost his life rushing to someone else's aid. The squad that solved his murder gave his widow the news last night.
I can't tell you how good it feels to know that she has some closure.
Ninemeyer's widow is now 81 years old. That cold case squad consists of 11 different agencies, including the KBI and FBI. Besides that retired Johnson County Sheriff's Major you just heard from, there was also a retired detective from Kansas City, Missouri, and one from Leawood. Those 3 retired law enforcement officers all did this work without pay. In Westwood, Kansas, Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.